Hello, beautiful people. This is Jane, and it's Jane's Signatures once again. So today I'll be bringing you this beautiful tutorial. I did the upper part, so if you've not watched the part one of this tutorial, please kindly watch it. That was what I uploaded first before this. So this is like the complete part of the sewing process and everything. So if you're interested in watching it, please kindly watch to the end, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, and please kindly share. Yeah, thank you. And let's get right into the cotton into the sewing process. Sorry. Yeah, so it's a beautiful gown, corset gown with a flare at the lower part and a net. Yeah, so let's get on to it. It's very beautiful with spaghetti straps, and this is how the back looks. As I did, it's going to be having a zipper. I'm not using a loop for the back, so it's a zipper. So I had to use pin to hold it like so that it will have fitting, because this dress is not the size of my client. So yes, so if you have not watched the first part, please kindly watch that before going to this, because you won't understand most of it. So this is like a part 2 of that. So I'd gone ahead to cut out the lining for every piece that I cut in my part 1 video. So you can see the cups. I've cut it out on the fabric, and then of course the lining I ironed some gum stay on it to give it stability, to give it stability here. I also did that to the back part. I ironed everything. It's only on the fabric that I did not iron stay or iron gum stay, because the fabric is a pulling kind of fabric. You know, all these kente fabrics. Yeah, I know my Ghana people are quite aware of this. So it pulls, so I didn't bother to iron anything on it because it's already thick in itself. It's very thick. So yeah, so I'll just be showing you the cotton process. The sewing process. Why am I always saying cotton? Maybe because I'm used to showing cotton before sewing. So this is just basically the sewing process. So we are done with the cotton part. And if you want to know how to cut the lower part, this case like a skirt. So I already have tutorial on my channel on how to cut that very well. So I didn't want this video to be long, as I didn't show the part of where I was cutting that skirt. So it will be like a repetition. So yeah, so this is the front part, as you can see, where the corset will be, that is the cups. So I will be joining that, because when cutting out this on the fabric, just ensure that you add half inch all the way around, so that will serve as the sewing allowances. So as you see, that's how I'll be joining it by half an inch, and then I'll join the other side by half an inch as well. So basically what I'll be doing on this main fabric is what I'll be doing to the lining as well. You know, when ironing this thing on iron lining, there's a way it alters the lining. So I'll be trimming off the excesses. As you can see, it's not aligning very well, but I'll trim it off and it will still come out okay. So I'll be joining it the way I joined the fabric. And for the cups, I'll be taking, that is why I labeled them, so that when you want to join it, you will not go and take one side for the other side and that side for the other side. So you need to be very, very careful when you want to join your cups. So that is why I left the paper on the fabric, and then I'll be joining them by half an inch, because it will be 2 cups, and whatever I do on the fabric is what I'll also be doing on the lining. And then for the cups, I just went in by half an inch just to give it more depth. I didn't really show where I did that. So as at this time, I'd gone ahead to do all that. I've ironed it. This is the lining. I've gone ahead to join it by half an inch, and then I've given it a very good press. So you can see I've ironed out all the seams. So it's all looking beautiful. And the cups, like you see what I told you, I'd already gone ahead to join it. Like I told you, my phone is misbehaving, so please pardon me. There are some things that will be cut off that I don't really remember. So as you can see, I've used my hemming gum to gum the cup to the fabric, and I equally used I ran a stitch on the cup all the way around, just to put it in place because of the fabric. So yes, I have everything. I did everything I did on the main fabric exactly on the lining as well. So now the next thing, and then of course I sew in some boning so you can see the channels that I made. So anyhow you want to do yours, just to give that front part a little kind of a corset feeling. So I just sew the bone on the fabric and then on the lining, just because I'm not going to be using any loops for the back, so I'm not going to be putting any bones at the back. So that is all for now. So the next thing I'll be taking now is to take the cups for each side and place it like that, and then run a stitch all the way like so, then fix it on both cups. So whatever I do on this main fabric, that is exactly what I'll be doing on my lining. So when I'm through with that, I'll be back to show you how it looks. Okay, yes, so I just want to show you the back part that I had already gone ahead. I've gone ahead to turn the half length for the back where the zipper will be, and of course the skirt part. I'd even gone ahead to join them. I've put the dart, so this one is like almost ready. The only thing left for this one is just for me to insert the zip, and that I'll be doing off camera. If you want me to make a tutorial on how to fix zipper on the clothes, please kindly leave it in the comment section. So you can see it's a full lining. I've gone ahead to turn everything with my lining. So this is the other part that I'll be using for the front. So I've gone ahead to do everything. I've equally done the darts. I've put the darts. So the only thing left for me is to join the cups, and then I'll add it to the half length. So I'll be back to show you. So yeah, as at here I've gone ahead to sew everything, as you can see. Can you see? So it's all looking neat, and the cup is just looking beautiful. So I went ahead to sew that on top of the cup all the way around. That's what I was trying to show. I sew it all the way around, so you can see the inside all looking neat and beautiful. So you can see everything is perfect and standing very well. So I did the same thing to the lining as well, as you can see. So I'll be using this lining to turn the neckline and then the sides, but I'll be leaving the lower part open. So ensure that you are placing, I'm supposed to have added the loops, as in the spaghetti straps here, but I've not cut out the straps, so that is why I went ahead to sew it. So when I'm done sewing, I'm just going to be fixing it directly. But if you want a neat gel, please make sure you have cut out your loops and then put it as you're sewing this, so that it will come out beautiful. The same thing applies for the back, but I didn't do that. I attached it after I had sewn everything. So I'll be taking it to the sewing machine and I'll be joining it, and I'll be back to show you the next step. Okay, so basically what I was trying to do here was that I just wanted to show you that immediately I finished turning it all around with lining, I'm just going to be fixing it to the lower part, and then it becomes that one straight piece. So I'll be back to show you. Just run it half an inch. So I've already done that, and I've gone ahead to fix this zipper. You can see the zipper, I had fixed it. Make sure that the half length aligns at the back, because it will be a very bad job when one side is up and one side is down. Make sure that they kiss each other, they are aligned properly. So as you can see, I'd already fixed the zipper, and the darts are kissing each other, not that one side is on one side. And I'd gone ahead to fix the half length to the front bodies as well. So basically the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to be taking out the normal measurements and removing the sewing allowances. So that is what I'm trying to do now. So what I will do next is to look for my pins and then pin it down so that I can do proper closure by removing the sewing allowances. So I'm going to be pinning it down. So this is like a good tutorial for people that don't know how to close up their work after they had finished sewing. So the first thing you need to do is to make sure that your half length, that is your waistline, aligns properly, that is both the front and the back where you joined them aligns very well. So I'm trying to get some pins so that I'll pin it in place so that it won't shift as at the time I'm trying to do this. So that is what I'm basically doing here. So I'm trying to pin it in place. Just take your time. I just intentionally left this place. I don't want to fast forward it or forward it. I just want people to have an idea of how it is done, especially our beginners. So just pin your bust, your waist, your hip, and then maybe the length of the gown. Just those important places so that it won't shift. So I'm trying to align the hip area so that I pin it very well. So please, if you have watched up to this level, kindly hit that subscribe button and that red bell that is there so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Kindly share and please kindly give this video a big and huge thumbs up. Thank you all. You've been amazing. So I have everything pinned down now. So the next thing I'll be starting from the bust area. So just make sure everything is sitting very well. So now in order to get my bust measurement, all you need to do is to divide your bow. When closing, it's when cutting that you divide by 4. Whatever measurements you have, like your waist, your bust, your hips. But when closing or when taking out your sewing allowances, you just divide into 2. So I'll be dividing my bust into 2. You see the way it went across because of course that place has a cup already. So I'm going to be getting the exact. So I have my bust divide. I want to turn it so that you see what I'm doing very well. So this is my bust divided by 2. Ordinarily, if it were to be some people, or preferably because this is not going to be a corset that will have a loop at the back, because if you use loop it will tighten it very well, but since it's not going to be tightening it very well, I would advise that whatever your bust measurement is, just remove 1 inch or 1.5 inches and then mark whatever you have. So whatever you have, you mark, and then you measure what is left, and then you divide that into 2. You put a portion there and a portion there, and then when you are through, you mark it and then you check to confirm, and then of course you see that what you get is exactly your bust measurement. I'm going to be repeating the same thing on the waist area, though I'm not going to be removing anything. I'm just doing that because of the cup and the bust area. So for this waist measurement, I'm just going to be dividing my waist by 2. Whatever I have, I'll mark it, and then I'll check whatever I have left. I will divide that into 2 and then put a portion here, and then I'll bring the other side, the leftover. That's what I'll do. So when I'm through, I'll check again to confirm if my waist is right. So when you check, you see that you have accurately what you did. And for your waist to hip, you just get your normal waist to hip. Whatever you used while cutting, you indicate it like so. Place it at that line where you marked it, and then you mark it like that. And then you come on that line that you marked on both sides. That's to show your hip area. And then you mark your hip divided by 2. Whatever you have, you just mark it. So whatever I did on my waist is what I'll be doing here. You get whatever was left over, you divide into 2, you put 1 portion here, and then you bring the other half here. And when you check, you know that you have gotten your hip measurement. So when you check, it's exactly what you did that you're going to be getting. So it's quite easy. I just decided to show this part so that you would understand. So I'm going to be connecting those lines because that is, I'm going to be sewing on those lines. So as you can see, and then you connect your waist to your hip. And so for the lower part, because that place will be carrying a kind of flare, so I don't want it to be the exact hip measurement, but if you want to use your exact hip measurement, you just divide your hip by 2, you go there and then you mark exactly the same thing you have on your hip down there. But because I want it tapered, I want it to be like a pencil a little bit, not too much. So I'll be removing 1 inch from my hip measurement, and whatever I have, I'll divide it into 2, and that is what I'll be marking at that lower part. I don't want it to be too big, though. You need to make it fair enough for your clients to be able to walk. So I was trying to check if it's what I have. So I discovered that that was because I just connected it thinking that I can eyeball it and all, but I did not. So I had to measure it, as you can see, so that I'll know what I want to mark on both sides before connecting it very well. Because that is the area where we'll be applying our flare. That is on the thumbnail, as is seen on the thumbnail. So because my client's fabric was not enough, so I had to buy a doll face to use for that lower part. So that's why I'm trying to adjust the line, as you can see. So I adjusted here, and I'll go to the other side and do the same thing. So I'm trying to confirm it, and yes, I've gotten it. So I'm going to take it to my sewing machine, and then I'll be running a stitch on those lines that I marked on both sides, and I'll be back to show you how it looks. So I've gone ahead to do that, and I've shipped it out. So I've removed the sewing allowances, and this is how everything is looking. So it's looking beautiful and almost ready. So let me show you the back. This is the back, all looking beautiful. So the next thing I'm going to be showing you now is how to cut this flare part. Though I already have a tutorial, I'm going to be cutting a 360 degrees flare. If you like, you can cut a 180 or 90 degrees, but I cut a 360 degrees, and I'll be using that same material to line it. So that's the next thing we'll show you, and any pieces remaining from that, I'll be using it for the spaghetti straps. That's why I've not cut it out before, because I wanted to cut out the flare. So I'll be back to show you. I'm going to be setting the gown aside for now. So in order to get that lower part, you're going to be measuring what you have at the knee part. So I was having 98. I said 98. 19, sorry. I was having 19. So I'll be dividing the 19 by 6.28. And I'll be dividing it by that. So whatever I have is what will be my round measurements that I'll be using to cut out the flare. So this is the inside. It's all looking neat and beautiful. So let me just set this aside. This net that I bought, OMG, I don't even know. I didn't look at the style when I go to the when I went to the market, because that net was too soft for the purpose. As you saw on the thumbnail, it's a hard net that was used, so I had to discard that net. I bought another ad net to use, and that ad net was still not giving me what I want, because I've not gone out to the open market again. So please, well, however you see the net, please take it like that, because later on I'm still going to be buying another ad net to add to that, to give it that beauty that it has on the thumbnail. At least my client is not taking the clothes for now. I'm just like rushing because of the period we are in. So anytime I go to the market, I'm going to be getting the exact color of that, and then I would attach the net. So it's the same way I cut it on the tutorial, so don't bother yourself about that. So when I divided my round knee measurement there, divided by 6.28, I got 6 inches. So I'm marking that 6 inches all the way around. It's just the way we cut a flare. That's the way I'm cutting it, because it's a flare, but I'm cutting it 360 because I folded into 4. So right there, I'm just marking half an inch all the way around. That is my sewing allowance. That is what I'm marking on top of the line after I'd marked 6 inches. And so for the length, I'm just going basically to be using what is left there, because it's not supposed to be a wide flare, because it's at the lower part of the leg. So whatever I had left there, I can't really remember. I think it was 9 inches or 8 inches. So that is what I'm marking all the way around. So whatever I did here, I'm going to be cutting it out. It will be in 2 pieces, so that one will be used as a lining for one. So for the lining, that is where I'll be ironing my ad stay or a gum stay to give stability, so that it would look beautiful. So I'm not ironing on the main fabric, but it tends to make it look rough. So that's why I decided to be ironing it on my lining, because it will still give it the same effect. So I'll be cutting it out, as you see. I'm cutting it out on the half inch that I added as my sewing allowance, not on the 6 inches. So I'll be cutting out the second one. So I made use of 1 yard. A yard is 35 inches or 36 inches, depending on whoever sold it to you. But mostly it's 35 inches. So I'll be folding it exactly the same way, and then I'll be placing this. Make sure you place exactly as it is. Can you see? Not that you turn it around and place the folded part here. No, that means you've spoiled it. So just place exactly as it is, and then cut out exactly. So yeah, I'll be slitting one side open for each. Just slit one side open. This is optional though. If you like, you can leave it as it is, so that when you're fixing it, there will be no joining. But I just want to open it up so that it will be easy for me to iron my gum stay on it. So you have both the main piece and then the lining. And for this tutorial, this flare part is going to be having a crinoline. So I'll be bringing my crinoline to show you. So that is why it has that wavy part at the lower part. So this is the crinoline. We have this in different inches, so anyone you buy is okay. So, and I've gone ahead to iron the gum stay on the lining, whichever one you choose as your lining, please go ahead. So I'll be placing the crinoline. Sorry, the way I placed it here was wrongly placed. It was after I'd done the video when I was trying to sew it that I got to know that that was the wrong place. So instead of placing the crinoline on, please kindly place under, that is, place it where the gum stay is, because it has to be with the lining. So please don't place on top like this. Place where the gum stay is, under, not on top as I did it here, just under. And then you can place the main fabric on top like this and then run the stitch, so that by the time you finish sewing it, the crinoline will be sandwiched between the lining and the main fabric. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back to show you. So I've gone ahead and done that. As you can see here, you can see it's sandwiched in between the main fabric and then the lining. You can see what I meant when I was trying to explain it. So this is how it will look. So by the time before I finish, I'm going to be giving this a very good press so that it will sit and lay flat. So I just want to get the length again so that I will know how many inches I'll be cutting. So I think I have 8 inches left. So by the time I use half inch to join it, will be remaining 7.5. So that I will know how many inches I'm going to be cutting for my net. So you can see this net is a soft net. So it didn't work out. It was just looking as if it's sleeping. But you can see that one on the thumbnail that it was standing. That was a hard net that was used. So I just want to show you how I cut it out, but I didn't use this net at the end of the day. So what I marked out there was I marked out 12 inches, I think. So I'll be cutting that out and then I'll be joining it. I'll be doubling it and then join it to be a long strip so that I'll gather it. So after I must have gathered it, that is when I'll join it with the flare parts for the lower part. It's very easy. So that is what I'm trying to cut out. But if you want to cut it in a flare, but because it's a net, cutting it in a flare I don't think is really necessary. But if you feel it will come out better that way, please kindly go ahead. But all I did was I just cut it out like this. Like I took two, I joined two together. Two. Like I cut out 4 pieces here because this is 2 yards. I cut out 4 pieces, so 2 is like 1. 2 is like 1. So like I joined it to be thicker and then I ran a gather stitch on them and then I joined them and then ran a gather stitch all the way and then drew it, and then that was how I was supposed to have added it. It was when I finished it that I saw that it did not come out well because it was too soft. And I've tried to check if I can get this particular color of net that goes with this, but I've not been able to see it around my area. So any day I go to the open market, I will look out for this exact color. The one on the thumbnail, I just had to make do with that. I saw it, but it was not turquoise blue, because this material is a turquoise blue material. What I saw was a sky blue. I just managed it so that I can shoot this video and upload. So I'll be changing it with time. So if you enjoyed watching this video, please kindly like, subscribe, share, and please give this video a huge thumbs up. Can't wait to see you on my next level. It's Genius Signatures and I'm signing out. Bye.